Gentlemen and ladies, when you come to Mileage Masters installation training, you'll be getting one of these manuals because that'll be part of your training fee. You'll get the manual free. As you see, this Creative Energy Systems water gas conversion system will go on your car where it gets 100% more per gallon, and we prove it on many cars. We'll show you in your manual. You'll have a section here showing some of the success stories on some of the cars that we've done before. You take a look at this little Mazda up here. That was 121 miles per gallon. Just installing doesn't require as much skill as fine tuning. Now the fine tuner has to have more experience. But however, on the other hand, we don't want any installer that doesn't know basically how the car to do normal car repairs. Because we got to go over that car and repair it. Now, once we've examined the car, we give our customers, our ultimate customers, the right to take it home and bring it back, or we can do the repair for them. We'll do the best we can, but they may have a buddy that they know well, so let your buddy do it. But if you want it done right now, and we make sure we check it out, make sure your computer's right, then we can do it in our shop. But that's a separate deal. That doesn't get included in the cost of the installation. The normal installation cost for these units is $600. There's 7 steps to fine tuning and conversion. Now the first step is to verify the vehicle condition. We talked about that before. Verify proper system installation. So the fine tuner has to go over and make sure the installer did it right. Then we move forward and we got to lower the lean limits. Now that's all done in the computer work, and we'll teach you that in more detail when Lynn goes through this with you. It talks about the coolant temperature. We talk about the intake air temperature, with liquid sensors, load sensors, and basically we're talking about the oxygen sensors. And what these do is basically we're going to be talking about adjusting 2 functions. The air-fuel ratio to make sure that we lean it down and the computer doesn't override and put more fuel in than we need, and destroy the efficiency that we gain by all the equipment. The second thing is the timing. And the timing is regulated primarily by the mass airflow sensors or other devices. But your car has a mass air temperature and mass air volume on it, and that determines and controls the air-fuel ratio. And we got to make sure it is not done to satisfy the catalytic converter. We don't want that 1:14 air-fuel ratio mixture that works fine in the cat. Now remember, your cat is not going to be working much once we burn everything in the engine. So now we have to switch it over, so the air-fuel ratio will now be in the range of 1:20. But the computer don't like that. The computer doesn't like that one little bit. So it kicks an engine light, it kicks a code and says there's something going wrong, and it shut down your car sometime. So we don't want it to do that and leave you stranded. So we have to talk to it and say, okay, baby, that oxygen in there is good for the world. It's good for us. Don't put more gas in there and pollute it. So that's the object of doing all this fine tuning. And of course, the other side is the timing of the spark. We got to get the spark, because when you're dealing with gasoline combustion and the way it works and functions with the efficiency of the engine, and one of the things that's very important to recognize that in a combustion engine, it's not the explosion, it's not a force of explosion that drives your piston down. What's really happening is the heating of the air. Some of the air that comes into your intake is not used in combustion. It's used to transmit the energy. So the explosion heats the air, and the expanding air pushes down the piston. Now, that works differently between when you're using a combustion of gasoline and the combustion of the modified propane. which is hydroxy, mixed with the propane gas. And that makes a whole different parameters of when you want the timing. And so some of the modification is directed totally to getting the timing right. Now we've done a lot of different ways of doing that. The ones we're going to show you in this particular stage of time, we find are the best ones we found to date. Tomorrow they're going to be better. Smile.